How safe is your milk? Now, according to a report by the Consumer Guidance Society of India, 78% of the milk sold in Maharashtra is substandard. The CGSI report claims that they tested 690 samples, out of which 539 samples were found to be non-compliant to the FSSAI standards, which means only 22% passed the quality test. Now, the report analyzed the samples on two parameters, fat content and solids, not fat content.
In the last 10 months, that is from January 18 to October 18, we carried out testing of milk samples, both branded and unbranded. Approximately about 690 samples were tested, and out of which we found that almost 21.88% was the only one which is as per the FSSAI standards. All the remaining were substandard. So you can say almost 78.12% of the samples total tested were not as per the specifications set up by Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. So this is the milk. Normally what we do is we conduct the milk twice. We do the testing twice. The first one is usually we throw it up so that there is no contamination mistakes. We throw it, and the second test what is considered as final. So this is a machine. You just have to make it and put it in. Put the enter, and then automatically it says it's cow milk, and then it will give the results. What it does is it takes a very small aliquot of sample into the machine and then does the analysis. This is a quick method. You cannot say it is a 100% foolproof method, because 100% foolproof method are not this method. These are all chemical methods are 100% foolproof. This is method just to find out whether it is good or bad. It's more of a qualitative testing. You can actually see the analysis is going on. You can see it's getting reduced. The milk is getting reduced, and then you will get the results. So you get the readings. So fat content is 3.67. Okay, SNF is 8.09, density is 27.83, protein is 3.11, so lactose is 4.81, water is 0.0, so there is no water added to this sample which has come to us. So this is the calculation. Normally what we do is we don't consider the first results. We throw away this result, we take the same sample all over again and redo it, and that result is considered as final for all our activity. So every test is done twice. So every sample we do it 2 times.
However, just last week, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India had released a report claiming that only 10% of the milk in the country was unsafe. FSSAI had tested 6,432 samples sourced from across the country and found that only 638 samples were adulterated. Right now, a shocking report here from the Consumer Guidance Society of India, which has said that 78% of the milk sold in Maharashtra is substandard. This particular report claims that they tested 690 samples, out of which 539 samples were found to be non-compliant to FSSAI standards, which meant that only 22% passed the quality test. The report analyzed a sample on 2 parameters, fat content and solids, not fat content. Right, my colleague Apeksha Srivastava now joining me live. Apeksha, could you just take us to the salient features of this report, which has raised some really startling figures here? Right, we seem to have a poor connection with my colleague Apeksha Srivastava there. We're going to try and connect with her once again. But of course, this is a report by the Consumer Guidance Society of India, which has pointed out that 78% of the milk sold in Maharashtra is substandard. This report claims that they tested 690 samples, out of which 539 were found to be non-compliant to FSSAI standards. This effectively means that only 22% passed the quality test. Remember, just last week, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India had released a report that claimed that only 10% of the milk in the country was unsafe. The FSSAI had tested 642 samples sourced from across the country and found that only 638 samples were adulterated. Now, this Consumer Guidance Society of India report, of course, does raise questions over whether these two reports are incompatible. Right, my colleague Apeksha Srivastava now joining me live. Apeksha, could you just take us through the main features of this report, which seems to have thrown up some startling figures?
This survey has been carried out by the Consumer Guidance Society of India, where they found out that 78% of milk sold in Maharashtra is of substandard quality. It doesn't even meet, the basic quality parameters set by the Food Safety Authority of India. Now, they sampled about 690 samples were tested, out of which only 22%, passed the quality test. And this is both branded and unbranded milk, and these are some startling revelations that the Consumer Guidance Society has made. And now they've even gone on to say, it's important to note that a same milk survey has been carried out by the Food Safety Authority of India this year. Just a few days ago, they had come out with their report, which says that milk largely is safe in the country, while when they sampled, 90% of the milk samples were safe. Only 10% were found to be a bit unsafe because of the poor farm practices that are being followed.
Right. Thanks, Apeksha, for that update there.